Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Merethah.
Hello.
We're here. We're back. It is Tuesday, the 17th,
Yes, the
right,
seventh.
of
Yes,
January in the year 2023. We're moving on in this new year by the grace of God. I hope
yes.
you're all doing very well. Thank you so much for being with us. Dear God, as we sit before you to speak, we pray to you that our souls you will keep. And if we should die before we finish, we pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. Amen.
Amen.
So, my subject today is signs that someone is a potential abuser. And then, Maritha, what is yours?
Live your life to the fullest. What does it mean?
All right. And right now, I just want to say that I had already said during the Sunday webcast, it just doesn't seem like, yeah, wow, it seems like it's moving so fast. But thank you, everybody, for the birthday uh, greetings and everything. When was my birthday? Friday. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Thank you so much, so much. I've already said it on Facebook, but I just want to thank everybody again. And so at this time, I'm going to turn it to the hands of Maritha. Take your
Thank
time.
you. All right. So my subject comes from livesomewhere.com. And what does live your life to the fullest mean? And 8 concepts to start living now. Live your life to the fullest. What does living your life to the fullest means? Most people just don't talk about this important things in life. Our Western society machine doesn't really want you to think about life in a holistic view. Otherwise, some of your consuming behaviors will probably change. You will spend less, be happier, and get out of the robotic lifestyle patterns and start questioning yourselves. That can really have a big impact on traditional consumer and capitalist society. The mainstream life philosophy the mainstream philosophy about life nowadays is that you just got to live in the system and find a way to be happy, which mostly means get rich by any means. But with all the tools available in the mainstream and without life consciousness, all it does is take you in the opposite direction. You have ever felt that way? Have you ever felt that way? Excuse me. I certainly have. This is what the author's saying. But fortunately, with all the obstacles she's faced in her life throughout the process of elimination and following her own heart, she discovered what she already had inside and what was hidden most of the time because of social layers she had put up on herself. And she finally connected the dots and found out what live your life to the fullest means. And it changed her life completely. Process of elimination. The process of knowing what you don't want is sometimes a best way of finding out what you do want. She always felt so right when traveling, for instance. She had no desire for material things. She felt fulfilled in a sense of belonging in the world. When she was back in her hometown, she could always think of was work, make money, and the quick rewards of what it made her feel good, which lasted for a very short time, by the way. Those are the worst because you feel good for a period of time and sometimes for less than an hour. And then you start to feel really bad, which makes the cycle very addictive. What live your life fullest to the fullest doesn't mean, okay, number one, the rich party lifestyle. Although it may sound like it at first, living a life to the fullest has nothing to do with a party type lifestyle, full of addiction for shopping, spending, eating, alcohol, and drugs in some cases. That's for sure a lifestyle, but it's not usually the one that makes you feel fulfilled. This type of lifestyle, which millions of people are looking at after because apparently they look attractive and they give instant pleasure, usually leads somehow to unfulfilled life. Have you ever known anybody that had it all and then they still felt depressed or killed themselves? You look at all those people out there who we think have everything. Remember that chef, that Bourdain? He killed himself, and I was thinking myself, but he had everything. He traveled the world. He got to eat all that food. He cooked all that food, different things, and then he ended up killing himself. And you were thinking, I was thinking, why? To me, it looked like he had everything, but evidently there was something missing that we couldn't see, but he felt
Right.
like it wasn't enough. The world is
Mm-hmm.
full of cases like that. And number
Mm-hmm.
two, the problem free life. Living life to the fullest also doesn't mean that you won't have problems, that everything will be easy. On the contrary, to live your life to the fullest usually means that you are faced with your biggest fears, stand up to your thoughts and belief, which can, hardly really be heard. Hard. Most of us in the West have been raised to make a living, and little time is spent to true fulfillment for searching our consciousness. Therefore, one can spend a lifetime to discover what living a life to the fullest means to him, and that can really be disturbing. But the best things in life come with overcoming difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
Number three, living a life of full schedule and routine. It's easy to be busy, but that doesn't make you live your life to the fullest. You can fill your life up with stuff all the time. I'm doing this, but that doesn't make you happy. It is not fulfilling your life. Living on the weekends. Don't fool yourself. Living on the weekends or out of a vacations does not mean you're living your life to the fullest. It means that you're wasting your life time most of the time. So these people you see jet setting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, that doesn't mean they're living their life to the fullest. The comfort zone, that's number four. Living life at the fullest is certainly the opposite of staying in your comfort zone and having everything ready for you. You have to be ready to face your fears, do things that has nothing to do with your comfort zone. So we got to get out of that comfort zone. So what does you live in your life to the fullest mean? It means to truly be alive and awake in your life, living and growing to your true self, getting immersed in life changing experiences. In other words, it means number one, live every day as if it's your last. We will all die someday. We just don't know when. It can be tomorrow. It can be in 50 years' time. And this day will arrive. Developing your true consciousness about this fact is not ignoring it. It is part of being the big change. Most people just ignore the fact that they will die and just keep losing so many days and years in their life. Little by little, life escapes them and they just don't see it. Be
Mm-hmm.
conscious that you have one life, one chance. Don't waste it. There are many distractions in modern life trying to get your attention. And if you're not conscious about your limited time and the time you will just get pushed somewhere away from living the best life you could, think like this. If it was your last day on earth, how would you act, talk, and speak? What would you do? Put more of that in your everyday life. Listens to your essence and follow it. Try to hear your real self more. This is number two. This can be hard, and we have so much noise inside us, and we always wore a social mask. It's sometimes practice every day and every decision that you're making to you do. After deciding something, look inside yourself and feel what it if it feels right. If it makes you calm with serenity, if yes, you are on the right path. This is literally can be done with everything. When you are nervous and you are compulsively buying things, when you are choosing what to eat and so on, little by little, you will be more real for yourself. So take your time. If you feel like you're impulsively doing something, or if you feel calm when you choose it, this is up to you. If you say, well, you know what, I would like to go on a vacation. I think I want to go somewhere this weekend. If you feel good when you make that decision, go do it. If you feel like you're making it because you're feeling rushed, it's still up to you because it's your time. Nobody can make that decision for you but you. Okay? You have to take care of you. No one makes you happy but you. No one cares about your happiness but you and God. That's it. No one can make you happy. No one can make those decisions for you. You have to do it for you. Number three, live in the present moment. Stop living for tomorrow. At the speed of the modern lives, it is easy to spend our days living in memories of the past or thinking about the future. This is called in Hindu tradition as living in Maya, the illusion. The life is in the now. Only now can we feel happy to be ourselves. And only now can you change the best version of you. Every little second matters. Observing and living in the now is the biggest step you can take toward living your life in the fullest. Number four, appreciate the small things in life. When you start living in the now, you can feel the truth in your limited time in life almost instantly start having more gratitude toward life. Living in the now gives you the opportunity to appreciate the smallest, the littlest things in life in a very intense way. Life itself is already a miracle, and having gratitude for it can be life changing. Even if you are in a bad life situation, you can find something to be grateful for. When I received a diagnosis of what Martina had, this is this author talking, I was shocked. But minutes later, I also felt gratitude for her being alive. And that's what I focused on during her whole
Mhm.
treatment. Now, you get some bad news, but you know what? You got that person now. You have them now. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us.
Right.
Any of us. When I was coming through, when I was going where I was going Friday, and I was going through Dallas, I said, I want to see my sister. I turned off the highway and went back around and came through another street. I called. I said, "What you doing?" And she told me what she was doing. I said, "Well, I'm coming back because I need to hug your neck." Ain't that what I said, Shirley? I'm coming back because I need to hug your neck.
All right.
And I went back because I needed
And
to
it
hug
was on my birthday too.
it. Was. It doesn't do it then. Okay. Number five, live life that has meaning to your soul. All right. When you are living with social mass, you usually don't look at your soul on the self or self, that real you. There are so many things to do. You are so busy trying to accomplish things that you are lost in social media, TV, or technology. And there is no relation between your ego and your true self. With that, we get lost and live the life that gives more money, that is more convenient, that gives us more comfort, or that is easier. When you are connected to your true self, you start finding it difficult to accept this choice. You
Mhm.
start questioning. You start thinking about the things you could that really matter to you and that have been blocked away. You feel it and face the challenge to go for it, whatever it is. When things have real meaning for us, we are capable of facing anything and keeping that life gratitude. All right. Number six, detach from all material things because you can't take nothing with you. Pardon me. None of this stuff is going with us. It's all borrowed. Okay, your clothes ain't even going with you. So detach yourself from this stuff. It's material things are really good if it's just we just need to get detached from it. Most people get so attached to it that they cannot change or do anything because of it. Others obsessively think about it and place success or happiness on having more and more material things. The system wants that. It wants you to buy more, to want more. This is why you have to work more and can be locked in an invisible prison of bills, masks, and technology. Practice to detach. Live with less. See if all these materials really make you happy for that long, for that long. If that If in that instant you get them and you are creating the next cool thing to buy, remember to be loyal to you and see the truth behind the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Always check how you are feeling in the holistic way. All right. So when you go out and buy something, do I really do this? How do I feel when I'm paying all this money out for this? Does it make me feel good? No. You can't hug it. You can't take it with you. You can't eat it. You can't shower in it. You can't. Think about that. Being detached from me was just as good as that. I don't get fooled by temptation or materials anymore. A great part of my childhood was being detached. No TV up to 3 years old. Traveling in a trailer on all my vacations. This is the author talking. But there are times of darkness. I felt entrapped and consuming. Finally, I was rescued my whole self, and I again, years later, after seeing that there are more that I earned, the more I wanted, and there I was with no satisfaction in any of that. I didn't want to feel craving for material things. It just made me feel really bad. And when I made that decision, live in a sailboat with four shorts and seven shirts, it felt just perfect. So this person detached himself and lived on a sailboat. He felt better. All right. Number 7, give more. Belief to see, not belief to see and not to see. It, belief. Trust life and don't expect things to come first. Don't expect things to come first. That's what he said. Give more of what you want first. The more you give, the more you will get. When you give, you are expanding, letting go of a fear of scarcity and opening up space within you to receive the natural, abundant flow of life. If you want love, give love to all those around you. If you want to receive more, give more first. In the past, he said, I see my giving evolving and can see now that I am giving authentically. When that happens, it feels magical. You don't just expect anything in reward, you just want to give. How much are you willing to give? And number 8, learn to explore. Living life to the fullest has so much to do with growing yourself, being open with the new experiences, learning something new that gives you pleasure or just challenges you. At the same time, it's all about exploring life. Remember, you have only one chance, one life. So, what better than exploring it? He felt so bad 7 years ago on his weekend schedule. He was going to malls and just eating out. It really disturbed him. He felt like he was losing his life. Finally, he started to hear his inner voice and began to do things that connected him to the earth and to nature, to being a human being. He started going hiking and running and stuff like that, and just seeing all of nature, contemplating silence and feeling the wind connected him back. And number 9, dream big. Never settle for less than that in life is capable of living. Don't accept the excuses. Listen to yourself and your dreams and go get it. Don't live for someone else's life. Dream on TV. Go pursue your own. Dream big. Go be the master of your life. Create a life of no regrets. Sometimes there will be a big staircase to arrive at your deepest dream, but don't be fearful of starting. Start today and give one step every day and enjoy it on the way. Living life to the fullest all means to enjoy all the journey and not only the destination. So he loved this quote: life is the rarest thing in the world, and most people just exist. They don't live it, they just exist. And that was by Oscar Wilde. Do you
Okay.
feel living your life to the fullest involves getting out of your comfort zone, experiencing new places, cultures, languages, trying to understand your role in the world, learning, suffering, and getting to understand and experiencing new life perspectives? So get out there, enjoy your life to the fullest, enjoy your life to the fullest. That's it.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Now, Fresh decided that he wants to come over and be a part of the show. Go sit down. So that was wonderful. That was wonderful. Now he's been quiet all.
Thank you, Fresh. Thank you, Fresh.
That was wonderful. I appreciate that information. Get out there and live your best life. Live your best
Live
life.
your best.
Be happy.
You know I'm
Yeah,
always on the you know I'm always on the
yeah, we
happiness.
always talk
Yep,
about that. Yeah, we always been talking about that
yep.
ever since we've been on this show. Live your best life. Be
Live,
happy,
be
and
happy.
then
Don't worry.
other people will be a part of your life, but you determine whether you be happy or not. People can come along and they can encourage and say,
Yep,
you come on, do this. You need to be happy. You need to be happy. But if you don't pour into your own happiness,
yep.
like you said, you will not be happy.
That's right.
Okay, that was wonderful.
Thank you,
Living your best life, living your life to the fullest. And so there are so many people doing that, enjoying life. They're really enjoying their lives. So I'm going to talk about domestic abuse, and this is what came, and I know somebody needs this today. We've talked about it before. I'm sure I've talked about it more than twice, but this is on me today, and I need to talk about this signs of domestic abuse, and then signs that a person is an abuser. And so somebody has got to get this today.
hmm
I just follow the directions of the Holy Spirit.
You have to do that.
And this is very well mined. The top warning signs of domestic abuse. And we see people sometimes and we wonder what's going on with him, what's going on with her. And we don't know because we don't live with them. And sometimes people don't tell. But
hmm
people are really having it tough and rough. And I want to say hello to Sister Velma, Sister Claudette, and Overseer Patricia Williams. I see you on here today. And thank you so much, Sister Velma, for sharing. Thank you,
Hello.
thank you, thank you. I hear that little sound in there. I don't know why I'm hearing that sound in here, but evidently it's on my end while I'm talking. Oh, I think I might know what it is. Let me turn this because I have my monitor up. So let me see if that might help me out. I'm not sure, but I'll see. Testing one, two, three. I still hear it. So I'm going to go on. So I hope it doesn't. You people can't hear it. It doesn't annoy anyone. And I want to say on what was that Saturday night? Was it Saturday night Sunday school? The sound was awful, and I didn't realize it until I read the comments. And but anyway, it's all right today. Thank the Lord. Now I just thank everybody for helping us out, and monitoring us and letting us know when something's not quite
Yes.
right on their end from us. Top warning signs, and this is very well mined. This is the site. Very well mined. Top warning signs of domestic abuse by Buddy T. And this was updated December the 8th, 2022, so that wasn't too long ago. And then they had an MD to review this so that they could put it out here and make sure they have everything right. The contents are physical, emotional behavior changes, controlling behavior, and how to help a loved one. Some of the signs of domestic abuse, such as physical marks, may be easy to identify. Others may be things you can easily explain away or overlook, say chalking up a friend skipping out on an activity you once enjoyed together as being due to a simple loss of interest. Domestic abuse affects each person differently, but it impacts everyone, both physically and psychologically. It's often an aggregate of related signs of domestic abuse that tip someone off that a person is at risk. Domestic abuse can happen to anyone, regardless of their social, educational, or financial status. While red flags aren't always proof that someone is being mistreated in this way, they are worth knowing. So many who are abused may try to cover up what is happening to them for a variety, of reasons, and it goes without saying excuse me, please. Let me do this because I'm still dealing with this. I'm healing, but they say that this cough lasts sometimes for weeks when you have a sinus or allergy flare up. So it's going on a couple of weeks now after I'm getting better. So um, I don't want you to hear me cough, but sometimes you do. But anyway, that's why I'm drinking my tea. So let me go back to this. It says, while red flags are not always proof that someone is being mistreated, uh, in this way, they are worth knowing. Many who are abused may try to cover up what is happening to them for a variety of reasons, and it goes without saying that these individuals could benefit from help. And like Merethah was saying, that about living life to the fullest, and she said sometimes you look at people and they seem that they have everything, and everything is going right, everything is perfect in their lives because of the facade they put on when they come out. But in home, they could be experiencing some of the most awful abuse that there is. But when they
Yeah.
come out, they have this facade going, and you don't know, but they could be miserable,
Yeah.
miserable. So the what is it? The outside. And that's why God said, men look on the outside, but God looks on the heart. He
Inside.
knows the heart. Let me get me a drink of my hot tea here. Physical signs of domestic abuse. If someone is being physically abused, they will likely have frequent bruises or physical injuries consistent with being punched, choked, or knocked down, and they'll likely have a weak or inconsistent explanation for these injuries. And we've heard people give excuses for things like that. And sometimes people really don't pick up on it. They say, "Oh,
Uh-uh.
what happened? Oh, I hurt my eye. I hurt my arm." And then some people just don't pick up on it. But then we should look closer sometimes. So
Yeah.
some signs of physical abuse include black eyes, bruises on the arms, busted lips, red or purple marks on the neck, sprained wrists. Because people they love to grab your wrist and hold on to you, shake you, and all that kind of stuff. So it's also common for someone to try to cover up the physical signs with clothing. For example, you may notice someone you care about wearing long sleeves or scarves in the hot summer, wearing heavier than normal makeup, or donning sunglasses inside are also common signs of domestic abuse. And nowadays, these people wear these sunglasses on the inside. You don't know whether they abused them. They wear the sunglasses on the inside.
Yeah.
So abuse occurs when one person in a relationship attempts to dominate and control the other person. Usually, the control begins with psychological or emotional abuse, then escalates to physical abuse. When domestic abuse includes physical violence, it is termed domestic violence. And then, so the emotional signs of domestic violence, and this is very well mind, okay, .com. Emotional signs of domestic abuse. Domestic abuse, of course, can take a serious emotional toll, creating a sense of helplessness, hopelessness, or despair. Domestic abuse can cause people to believe that they will never escape the control of the abuser. And I believe some people are hopeless like that.
Yeah.
They may also exhibit a constant state of alertness to the point they never can completely relax. And you see, even on TV, and you might have experienced this when everything is going well. You might be visiting someone, or if you've ever been talking to the World Wide Web, ever been in a
Yeah.
situation like this, and you're sitting, everything is calm as long as one partner is gone.
Yep.
But when you hear the car or you hear signs of that person coming home, everything just changes. You
Change.
tense
Yep.
up, you start uh, jumping up, doing this and that and the other, and everything, trying to hope that everything's in place when they come in, so that you won't have to deal with them and the abuse and all that. Just it's just so much that people have to go through. It
Yep.
just hurts my heart. So,
Yep.
other emotional signs of abuse include agitation, anxiety, or constant apprehension, changes in sleep habits, sleeping too much or not enough, developing a drug or alcohol problem, extremely apologetic or meek, loss of interest in daily activities, low self esteem, seeming fearful, symptoms of depression, talking about or attempting suicide. There's some people that are in bad shape right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that someone is listening to us that is in this condition and that this will help. This
Yep.
will help. And even living your life to the fullest, that these topics will help and give hope. And Cleester has a sign that she told us about, that people can give when they need help if they're being abused. But when she comes on Thursday,
Yep.
maybe I'll remember to ask her to show us that sign again, because there's so many people need help, and there are people that are people watching us that are watching incognito. And if you're one of those people that's being abused, please, please, please get
Yep.
some help. Please get some help. Run and don't look back. And if you have children, make sure you take the children with you. Have yourself a plan, but don't wait and plan too long where you can't get
Yep.
out of the situation. Okay? Now, how abuse causes behavior changes. If you notice that someone who was once outgoing and cheerful has gradually become quiet and withdrawn, it could be a sign of domestic abuse. You may notice that the person becomes, oh, he's over there playing around, rolling around. Okay. Uh, You may notice that the person becomes reserved and distant, begins isolating themselves by cutting off contacts with friends and family members, cancels appointments or meetings with you at the last minute, drops out of activities they would usually enjoy, exhibits excessive privacy concerning their personal life or the person with whom they're in a relationship, is
Mm-hmm.
often late to work or other appointments. And you look at this, and we've seen people act like this. We've seen people, they just and there are some people who target people who are outgoing,
Yep.
and living, seem to be living their life to the fullest, footloose and fancy free. And there are some people that target these people to try to bring them down,
Yep.
try to bring them down and beat them down and make them submissive to them. There are people with all kinds of evil,
Agenda.
wicked
Yep.
uh, thoughts in their minds, and then they beat them down and beat them down and then leave them. You
Yep.
know, situations like that. There's some people that are so miserable they can't stand to see other people
Cat.
happy.
Yep.
That's right. So showing signs of fear. We're talking about signs of domestic abuse. People who are being abused may seem anxious or nervous when they are away from the abuser, or they may seem overly anxious to please their partner. If they have children, the children may seem timid, frightened, or extremely well behaved when the partner is around. And that's one of the most pitiful things you can see, whether you're watching it on television, in a movie, or whatever. That is so awful. And like we say, what is it? Art imitates life, and life imitates art. And we know that some of these art,
Imitates
ART,
life.
some of these things
Life
going
imitates art.
on Although
Yep.
victims may not talk about the actual abuse, they might refer to the abuser as moody or having a bad temper. They may reveal that the partner is particularly bad tempered when drinking alcohol. Sometimes the fear
Mhm.
sometimes the fear of victim of abuse experiences is so intense they feel paralyzed to make decisions or to even protect themselves or their children. We've heard so much about that, where the people abuse the children and the spouse just sits around and their significant other just lets them abuse the
Mhm.
children because they're afraid. But I don't want to go into that because I get myself riled up. But honey. Okay. So when the fear gets to that point, they will even turn down help offered by friends, family, or even professional protective services. Now, the next one is what controlling behavior looks like. I'm going to tell you what it looks like, just in case we don't know. Domestic abuse is not about violence, it's all about control. We talked about this over and over and over. And I just said some people target people, happy people, and see if they can get them. And then they want to beat them down to nothing, beat them down to nothing. So if you notice that someone seems to be controlled or extremely manipulated in all areas of their life, it could be a sign that they are being abused at some level. Here are some examples of control: asking permission to go anywhere or to meet and socialize with other people, constant calls, texts, or tracking by their partner, wanting to know where they are, what they're doing, and who they are with, having very little money available to them, not having access to a credit card, or having to account for every penny spent, not having access to a
Mhm.
vehicle, referring to their partner as jealous or possessive, or always accusing them of having affairs. So if you are a loved one or a victim of domestic violence, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline. And they give an
Mhm.
800, and there's a 800 799 7233 for confidential assistance from trained advocates. And then if it's to the point where it's so serious, 911.
Hmm.
So 911, the quickest number you can dial at the moment. How to help a loved one. If you suspect a loved one is experiencing domestic abuse, hello everyone, thank you for being with us. There are steps you can take to support them and encourage them to get help. Because some people they they don't want the abuser hurt. So they don't report the abuser because they don't want somebody to reckon with the abuser. That's just how some people are emotionally beat down.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, if you're being beat down emotionally, physically, that abuser has to make his or her own way. But you need to take care of yourself.
That's right.
Take care of yourself. You are very important. You are loved. People love you and they want the best for you. Just because someone has you in their grips, they have you isolated, and they're saying all these things. They tell you nobody likes you, nobody loves you, nobody's
Mhm.
thinking about you. You can do all you want to, and nobody gonna come and see about
Yep.
you and all that. Don't believe that. Somebody loves you.
Yes.
Somebody
More than you
loves you.
think.
Uh-huh. Somebody loves you. So how to help a loved one? If you suspect a loved one is experiencing domestic abuse, there are steps you can take to support them and encourage them to get help. Listening to your loved one, watching for warning signs, and offering support are essential. If your loved one confides in you, Help them make a safety plan. This plan should include excuses they can use if they need to leave the situation, where they can go if they decide to leave, and an escape bag filled with essentials they will need if they need to leave quickly. And we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a loved one in touch with resources to help them stay safe and get the help they need. This can include domestic violence, shelters, and helplines offering information and direct assistance. The National Domestic Abuse Hotline is a resource that offers assistance via phone, chat, or text. You can text START, that's start, okay, to 88788, or you can call the 800 number to speak to an advocate. You can also find more tips for creating a safety plan on their website. And sometimes people don't have time to go to the website, so you have to do whatever it takes to
Mm-hmm.
survive, for you and your children or whoever else you're responsible for to survive. You have to do it. If you haven't started making plans to get away, start making plans. Every little dime, penny, whatever you can
Yeah,
get, you put that back, save that as much as you possibly can for whenever you need to go. And sometimes you might not have but $10, but baby, $10 will get you somewhere,
yes.
somewhere. Okay? So, and then there's some reasons that people won't leave because they have security, financial security, but that financial security is not helping those knots on your
You
head
hit.
and
Thank
those
you.
clips around your neck and all of that. You can come on out of there and let the lawyers deal with that and then get that financial security for yourself
That's
from
right.
the other part. Okay? So a word from Very Well. Helping someone who is a victim of domestic violence is a delicate matter, and it really is. You have to be careful, and the person that you choose to help you, or if you are a person that's helping someone, you have to be wise. You have to be discreet. You have to keep your mouth closed. Don't be telling people's business and all of that. You have to have a good character in order to
Mm.
help somebody. You can't go talking and telling this one, well, oh, I helped her and I helped him get away and all this, and I took them over here and over there. People talk, people listen. And next thing you know, that abuser has found that person. I was watching The Rookie the other night, or I might have been catching up. So there was a lady that escaped. I think she and her children escaped an abusive husband, and he had another lady that he had, and he was abusing her too, but she wouldn't own up to it. But what he did, excuse me, I might have to. What he did, he got into a relationship with another lady, and he had the other lady going out to these shelters looking for the wife and the children. So she would go to a shelter, and then she would say, "Well, do you know whatever the lady's name was? Is she here?" And then they'll tell you, "No, we can't disclose anything like that." But she would go from shelter to shelter because he told her to, looking for the wife, so he could try to get her back, or do whatever he was going to do to her. So there are all kinds of tactics, all kinds of things that people use. So you have to be wise and don't be a big mouth and a busybody. If someone needs your help, then be that person who can help and be quiet about it. Be quiet about it. Help a person and don't brag about, oh, I helped this, and oh, honey, she didn't have anything, and I just helped her. I let her stay in my house and so many. Don't do that. Please don't do that. There are people that do that, okay? I'm talking to the World Wide Web, okay? All right. So helping someone who is a victim of domestic violence is a delicate matter, and I know I said that. By learning some of the warning signs, you can feel more comfortable offering a sympathetic ear and seizing the opportunity to help a victim of domestic abuse or violence. And so take the opportunity. And there are some people that are so busy they just nosy, trying to get everybody's business and then going off spreading it all over the place. So we have to be careful. And then that's why they say follow your first mind. If you're being abused and someone you feel like they're being a little bit nosy, too inquisitive, and sometimes too eager to help, you better be careful, okay? Be very careful. So if you are experiencing domestic abuse and these signs are all too familiar, know that what's happening to you is not your fault. You are not alone, and help is available. Help is available. I'm telling you. So, Buddy T is an anonymous writer and founding member of the online Al Anon Outreach Committee with decades of experience writing about alcoholism. So, that's who Buddy T is. And our time, let me look at the time here. 146. Okay, now we talked about signs of the person that's being abused. Now, what about signs that a person is an abuser? Okay, so we will go here to, I don't want to say it because, Psychology Today is one of my favorite sites, but this is the powerofpositivity.com. This is the site. 15 early warning signs of a potential abuser. And you have to be careful because I know some people say, "Well, I want to get you away from all your family and
Mm-hmm.
you better watch it." So bullies and abusers are cowards.
Yep.
Well, they started out hard and heavy, didn't they?
Yep.
Sure. The argument could be made that bullies are victims too. Some children, well, they have kids. I don't like to call children kids who grow up in abusive or neglectful households may develop an I'm the oppressor mindset. Obviously, these cases are tragic and help must be a priority, but such cases are the exception to the rule. Regardless of motive, bullies and abusers inflict far more damage than they receive, excuse me. As a consequence, society rightfully deems this behavior completely unacceptable. Bullies and abusers are two peas in a pod. A bully is an abuser, and an abuser is a bully. You got that? A bully is an abuser, and an abuser is a bully. All right. Two peas in a pod. Both
Mm-hmm.
feel stronger, smarter, or better than the person they're harming. They see bullying as their right and even a means of getting ahead. My Lord. Please keep in mind that these people are found everywhere in schools, workplaces, shopping malls, grocery stores, churches, hospitals, charities, state and national governments, militaries, corporate boardrooms, you name it. They're everywhere. Bullies are everywhere. They work in jobs where they swear to help people only to do the opposite. Now, that is for real.
Mm-hmm.
Great spirits have often encountered violent oppositions from weak minds, and that's from Albert Einstein. That's one of his quotes. So, in this article, we're going to discuss 15 early signs of a potential abuser, and we have to really pay attention to this. This is very important. So as we go through this list, if you're being abused or bullied, please remember that there are good-hearted people who will stand up for what's right. There are plenty of good Samaritans that will not stand idly by while bullies and abusers try to inflict their pain on someone else. So let's talk about signs to look out for from potential abusers. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being with us. An abusive person displays these things before revealing themselves. So here are 15 early signs of a potential abuser. 15 early signs of a potential abuser, boasting or bragging. Abusers possess a narcissistic streak. They will dwell on about their accomplishments with the hope of impressing no one in particular. Number two, a potential abuser is needy. So you wouldn't think of that maybe in a normal sense, but they are needy. They're in a need for power. That's one of the things they're in need for. Power. They feel like they have to have power over you, okay? A potential abuser is needy. Yeah, abusers will display a poor me attitude with the hope of getting you to feel bad for them. They'll cling, beg, and show insecurity. So go figure, okay? Number three, lies and manipulates. Abusers have the well earned reputation of lying about the stupidest, most asinine things. Most bullies aren't too bright either, so you can probably see through the deception. Boy, they're hard on these bullies. Oh my gosh. Oversensitivity. Number four. Abusers are often overly sensitive and uptight. This can be a dangerous sign as they may seek to release their pent up anger and hostility onto someone innocent. And usually that's what they do. Number
Mm-hmm.
quick to commit. As mentioned, abusers are needy and clingy people. As such, they may ratchet up the pressure for a committed relationship. The sooner they can control someone, the better.
Yep.
Watch out, everybody, watch out. Number six is jealousy. Abusers also have the reputation of claiming that their jealousy is a sign of love. And we
Oh, I
know,
love
oh, I
you.
love you, I love you. That's why I did that. I love
Uh-huh.
you. Nuh-uh.
Yep.
Jealousy is a sign of immature aggression. Stay away. However you are attracted to the person, how deep that attraction is, let me tell you something. Your safety is, is more important than that deep attraction. And we know how it is when we are emotionally attached to someone and
Yep.
we feel that we really love them and we feel like we just have to be with them. But let me tell you something. Pull that that's deep down inside of you. Let it rise to the surface and say, I got to get some yonder and get some, as
It's
Rita would tell you to. Rita would tell you to get
it's
some
some
yonder.
yonder.
Pull it out.
Yep.
You are important. How I can't overstate that. You're loved and you're important. People love you. Someone cares
Yes.
for you. And whatever that bully and that abuser tells you, in your head you say, no, no, Charlie,
No. Mm-mm.
no, Mary, I'm getting out of here.
No. Mm-mm.
Because women are abusers too.
Yes, they
Not
are.
only just men, women and
Yes,
men
they are.
abuse people. Okay, controlling behavior. That's number seven. I'm getting there. Being a control freak may be the number one sign of an abuser. They'll question where you've been, who you're talking to. They will probably check your phone and perhaps most disturbingly, call your friends and family. And I know some things that are even more disturbing than that. When you go off somewhere and all that, they want to be checking your clothes and all of
Yep.
that. And just seeing if they smell another
Yep.
person on you and all that kind of stuff. It's some crazy mess going on out here in
Yep.
this world. Okay. Number eight, a history of violence or abuse. And some women know, and some men know that these people have a history of violence and abuse, and they'll still feel like, well, if I have him, if I have her, I can change her.
Uh-huh. You can't change nobody.
Watch out, okay? Watch out. Okay. Number eight, a history of violence or abuse. Abusers don't fool anyone, even those close to them. For instance, friends and family may drop a hint about the personal lack of self control and propensity for violence. Number nine, possessiveness. A close cousin to controlling behavior, abusers may refuse to let you out of their sights. It's not uncommon for these bullies to cut you off from your social circle. Number 10, there's rage. In reality, no one is safe from a bully, particularly someone who looks vulnerable. Abusers will often look for a place to direct their rage, even going so far as to provoke an innocent person. And that's for real. Number 11, didn't I say that? I said they'll some of them will hunt look for you. They and
Yeah.
see you
Yeah.
doing well, and they want to get you in their clutches so they can try to bring you down.
That's right.
11, insist on my way. Where they say it's going to be my way or
Highway or
no.
the highway.
So
Mm-hmm.
bullies are incredibly closed-minded individuals. They give no second thought to shutting down one else's opinions or suggestions. Number 12, ignores boundaries. The agreed upon social contract of not invading someone's space doesn't apply to abusers. If you get involved with an abuser, you can expect to have your privacy violated more than once. Number 13, sabotages friendship.
Yep.
Abusers are notorious for trying to end friendships which they see as threatening to their sense of control.
Yep.
Number 14, insults your loved ones. Oh, yes, the abuser will almost certainly find fault with one or more of your family members or close
Mm-hmm.
friends. They'll often show no hesitation in dishing out verbal abuse towards them. Now, that you ain't going to do here. Number
Nope.
15, overly defensive. Once again, abusers are cowards. The smallest perceived threat is enough to get them going. You can expect plenty of childish behavior like this. If you or someone you love is being abused, please contact one of the following organizations: the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. And that website is www. The hotline. It's www.thehotline.org. Okay? So they have live chats and everything. So there is help. There is help. But one thing, if you're in immediate danger, 911 and keep it.
911.
So, of course, please contact your local police department in the event of an emergency. Call 911. So, that is my presentation for today. And I know somebody needed that, otherwise,
Yep.
the spirit wouldn't have unctioned me to give it out. But anyway, I'm trying to see what time it may be. Well, did my phone go off?
59. We are
Wow.
59 minutes in.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. We love you so much. And Thursday, Rita will be joining us. And
Yay.
then, and also, I want to say I talked to Eula, and she said those rains out there was something
I
else
bet
out
they
there
are.
there. And she said some days she had to go a different route home because the streets were
Wow.
flooded and different things like that. She said she has not seen that kind of rain. So they even had thunder and lightning. It amazes me that some of the little children that didn't know what, like they were amazed at thunder and lightning. But
Really?
they didn't. And so when Eula comes on, if it's not,
Yeah.
she can tell us because I don't. I like to say, but she said they were amazed that little children at the school were like looking out the window. They never seen. No.
Wow.
And anyway, we love you, everybody. And we just thank you so much for being with us. And we ask that God will continually bless and keep you and all the bereft families, all the ones who are having troubles now, who are in situations that you feel like you have no hope in getting out of. God is there for you.
Yes.
He has your back, and I'm going to be praying for you. We're going to be putting you before the Lord. We ask you to do the same thing for us. We love you so much, and God willing, we will see you Thursday. And I want to put in a plug for the Church of God in Christ's leadership conferences here in Dallas. And I did watch it on YouTube last night. It's Church of God in Christ Leadership Conference 2023. And so I didn't, admonish you to look at it if you know, just telling, just a plug, okay? And it was good last night. All right. Love you,
Love
Marita.
you too, my sister.
Okay. And so everybody, we will see. So, yeah, we had a nephew
Yeah.
that was shot yesterday evening, right, with
Mm-hmm.
a shotgun. 16-year-old. He's our great nephew,
Yeah.
and so that are just he had surgery on one area, right?
Yeah. And he's got another few surgeries to go, but Lord is blessing him.
And she said he was up. Let's see, Erica
Walking.
called this morning, said he was
Yeah.
up walking. So
Mm-hmm.
thank the Lord for that. He got shot with a shotgun, and they
Mm-hmm.
had to, yeah. So we're
Yeah.
asking you to continue to pray for him too. The Lord spared his life. We love you, everybody. Love you, baby
Love you
sister.
too, sister.
Talk
See
with
y'all
you, everybody.
Thursday with my other sister being in.
Thank you so much for being with us. Love you. Okay.
Bye.
Oh God, I'm calling on you. Oh God, I'm enlisting the saints to pray. Can you hear me? Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can you feel